It's okay that you're different. It's okay, you know, that you might not look like the norm, whatever that is, but, you know, you're still worthy to, like, be in this world and live the life that you have and celebrate yourself.
I am a motivational speaker, social activist and bearded lady. Yeah, Kiala Settle played the bearded lady in that film, The Greatest Showman, and people don't actually know, but she actually played that character as me.
So PCOS are excess of androgens which cause facial or maybe bodily hair, and excess of oils in the skin causing acne, diabetes, other cardiovascular issues. Because there is an issue with ovulation, there's problems with irregular periods and even fertility issues too.
佢11歲嘅時候察覺到身體有啲唔妥，到16歲青春無敵嘅年齡，面上就生晒胡鬚。
It wasn't me that realised I had, you know, this growth on my face. It was only after being bullied and some people in my school noticing it that I went home and looked in the mirror and realised I had some, like, hair on my face. It was an issue for me, but, you know, when you get bullied, you know, your self-esteem goes down, you do feel panic, you feel a bit scared, and that's what I was going through as a young girl. I was hit in school, like I was stabbed with pens in school, like pins and everything, like, you know, I was threatened in school, like in the most horrendous way. Things like calling me things like Shrek, calling me things like man, and I look back now, they seem very silly comments, so I can laugh at them now. It goes a lot deeper. These are just like a few things off the top of my head which I can remember.
佢當時頻密剃鬚，試圖改變自己去迎合大眾嘅審美標準。可惜咁做並冇改寫佢俾朋輩欺凌嘅結局，令到佢更加討厭呢一個出錯嘅皮囊。
Yeah, it was at that point I realised that this is enough. Like I can't keep feeling like rubbish. It was only until after going through years of bullying, depression, low self-esteem, self-harm, being suicidal because of other people's opinions about me, so I decided just to like grow my facial hair out. I mean, it was hard. It was a hard decision to make, but I look back and it was one of the best decisions. Scars and bruises, that can all go, but what people say to you really sticks.
佢18歲毅然退學，提早踏入社會。
It affected a lot of job prospects. Doing an interview, not being employed because I look different, or employers just straight to my face would be like no. And even if I did get a job, I'd still face things like institutional bullying and discrimination. So it causes a lot of social anxiety. Sometimes I don't want to go out because I don't want to see anyone, meet anyone or anything like that. I just want to stay at home in my bedroom, in my own sort of domain, in my own area, and just sort of spend my day.
The way that the bullies made me feel, I felt like I didn't have a place on this earth, you know. But not just that, it's like you look at certain billboards, advertisements, you don't see people like me represented.
2014年係佢人生嘅轉捩點，遇到一位女攝影師，用相為佢嘅美重新定義。
I became a lot more confident in front of a camera, and then those shoots turned out to be more for like magazines, and I realised that there's a lack of representation of, again, minorities, people of colour, bearded women, turbaned women, that I want to be able to sort of stand, be an advocate for that condition and also represent minorities within like the modelling and fashion industry.
佢喺2016年登上倫敦時裝週嘅天橋，同年被健力士世界紀錄選為最年輕擁有完整胡鬚嘅女性。舊年獲邀上 TED 演講，而家全職去學校或者機構透過講座分享自己嘅人生。
I don't understand when it comes to women, why is it that their difference stops them from achieving certain things? Like men have bodily hair, men have facial hair, why hasn't it stopped them? You know, it's just because of these set beauty standards that we think men have to look this way, women have to look like that. I want to tell not just women but people that, you know, your imperfections, first of all, stop calling them imperfections. There's this Eurocentric beauty standard that's going around in society today, and it's very unattainable, because you need to realize that 99% of images on social media are photoshopped. They're unattainable to just be yourself. Once you just learn to embrace and love yourself, it's amazing how your world can change for the better.
We are from the Dull Men's Club. Our motto is celebrating the ordinary.
It's cool being dull. Dull is the new black. It's sexy being a dull man.
In fact, we're not dull really. We do lots of interesting things, and I collect milk bottles.
Bore da croeso I fe am gerdded llaeth.
And there's a bottle from Italy, from Germany, Berlin specifically. Went from Italy there, and Early Dairy, which is in Australia near Melbourne. And moving along, we have some from Kowloon and Hong Kong, Trappist monks. That's Afrikaans because this is from Johannesburg, and that's Malvern East. The milk bottle, the social history of it, the fact that a milkman had milk bottles made to go on the doorstep. Then the milk was used, they put the empty bottle out, it went back to the dairy, hopefully, then back again, many times, as many as possible, hopefully for the dairyman. And the strange thing is, I don't like milk.
And I've never liked milk since. Baby food.
Fond of park benches, which I am. I'm enjoying them here. I could travel anywhere in the world as long as there's a park bench there to sit on. Just sit back and watch the world going by. Like right now, there's a friendly pigeon here coming by to say hello to me. My name's Grover Click, and I'm Assistant Vice President of the Dull Men's Club, one of the founders. We started it in the 1980s. We were sitting around reading a magazine at the New York Athletic Club, boxing club, a judo club, a wrestling club. And a friend of mine sitting there said, gee, we don't do any of those things. Another one said, yeah, we're kind of dull, aren't we? And I said, well, let's start a Dull Men's Club. Facebook group now has over 30,000 members, and they don't mind being dull. They see advantages in it. It's just a relaxed way of life. They like what they do, and that's enough for them. Another motto is it's okay to be dull.
A lot of people think my hobby is a bit strange, but there's nothing more expressive than the roundabout. I've seen statues, fountains, trains, boats, planes, windmills, working windmills, and that's what makes roundabouts so exciting. Each and every year we produce this calendar, the best of British roundabouts. So I travel Britain taking photographs of my favourite roundabouts. It's not like Six-Pack Fireman, is it? Or David Beckham. We're all fed up with that. We want something different. The way British view a roundabout is we like the politeness of a roundabout. We don't like traffic lights telling us when to go, when to stop. We want our own set of decorum and politeness. I'm sure if Andy Warhol was alive today, you'd have a giant can of Campbell's soup on a roundabout. I like photography, and I like to take photographs of English life, slices of English life that nobody else would bother with, like car parks or barber shops or prisons of England, something quirky and unique. I just like to take photographs of that. Sometimes it takes the public a bit of time to accept my work. They're slow burners. I think if you met members of the Dull Men's Club, they're quite charismatic. They're not dull at all. They're quite funny characters, you know, and quite intelligent.
We're not so interested in glitz and glam. We're just happy with the simple things in life. There's nothing wrong with being ordinary. You know, not everybody can be number one.
Find me some milk bottles, please.
全世界最古老嘅地鐵系統咧，就喺1863年喺倫敦啟用，到而家咧已經有155年歷史。除咗咁靚嘅維多利亞式建築之外，佢仲有好多平時你未必留意到嘅窩心風景㗎。
地鐵唔只係一個地方城市化嘅指標，人民嘅貧富、文化質素、社會嘅繁榮、科技發展， 都可以一一喺地鐵窺探出嚟。今次等我哋探討一下倫敦地鐵嘅公共空間。倫敦嘅地鐵路軌全長402公里，係全球第4長，平均每日有350萬人次乘搭。一開始起路軌要停晒路面所有交通㗎，撐住兩邊嘅房屋，挖出一條大溝渠，起好之後先至封頂，重新鋪路。後來一位英國工程師發明咗隧道鑽掘機，可以喺地底向前開鑿而唔影響路面。佢仲為設計申請咗專利。圓柱形嘅挖掘軌跡就為倫敦地鐵帶來 Tube 呢一個名。去過倫敦嘅或者都會見過呢塊白板，上面療癒嘅金句，為營營役役嘅路人送上心靈雞湯。
We are in Oval Station, and this is the home of Thought of the Day。
14年前，呢個站嘅職員 Anthony Gentles感覺地鐵站嘅氣氛冷漠，大家只係顧住趕路，好少留意身邊嘅事物。於是佢就開始咗呢一塊為城市人打氣嘅金句板。依家59歲嘅佢已經係站長啦，寫金句嘅任務就交俾同事 Glenn 接手。Glenn 管理嘅 Twitter 賬戶已經有32000個 fans 㗎啦。
When I come in first thing in the morning, 5 o'clock, make sure the escalators are on. I check all the gates are working. Then I do my thought of the day, and then we'll open the station. His first words that he put up on the board, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. The idea from a book, a Chinese philosophy book by Tao Te Ching. Normally people would just walk through and they're just continuing their journey, but when you see them come up, a lot of people will stop, they will look at it, they take pictures, and they always comment how nice it is.
遇上災難發生或者名人離世嘅紀念日，佢就會抄寫相關嘅句子，表達哀悼。
It's inspired a lot of stations to do it. We was featured in a documentary. There's about 10 stations that do it. We have Clapham North, Willesden Green, and North Greenwich, Covent Garden. There are a few who are well known that have got the thought of the day. My favourite quote has to be proud of who you are and not ashamed of how someone else sees you.
除咗打氣字句，白板旁邊嘅飄書書架亦都係 Glenn 發起㗎。
If you have an idea to make a station better and nice, that will make the station nice with plants, a bench, people can come, read a book, sit on the bench, put it through, and they do their best to accommodate us and make sure we get nice things. The underground looks after us.
I am a licensed busker for London Underground. My name's Matt. I've been busking for 30 years almost, I think.
喺25個市中心嘅車站裏面，你會揾到一共39個咁樣嘅黑色半圓，佢代表住合法嘅賣藝區。不過並唔係任何人都可以隨意霸佔表演嘅噃。
You have to have a license, so you have to audition, and then you get a license, and then you can start playing these places.
地鐵公司喺2003年開始發牌，每2年遴選一次合資格嘅賣藝人。4年前嘅試音有4000個申請者爭280個位，競爭都相當激烈㗎。
How long do you play like for each session?
2 hours. 2 hours. Now I'm here from 6 to 8, and then if it's 8 o'clock guy didn't turn up, I'm allowed to carry on another 2 hours. If he doesn't come, I can stay until midnight, and make more money.
喺繁忙時間，例如星期5嘅7至10點同埋週末，揀中人流比較多嘅車站，佢哋每個鐘頭可以賺到50至到60磅。當紅歌手 Ed Sheeran、Jessie J 未出道之前，都曾經喺地鐵站玩 busking。對比香港地鐵對公共空間嘅監管非常嚴格，根據香港鐵路附例，喺地鐵嘅任何部分唱歌、跳舞或者演奏樂器會被罰2000港元。 而表演收錢嘅話，更加會被罰5000港元。你話咁樣係反映香港循規蹈矩，定係扼殺創意呢？下次想認識一個城市嘅時候，又不妨由觀察地鐵去入手啦。
The hardest part is getting the pleats right, getting the pleats and building the block. If you don't get them right, the shoe's out of place. Hi, I'm Alan. I'm a London point shoemaker. I've been doing this for 16 years, and I make 35 pair a day.
Allan 一直做緊嘅公司扎根喺英國製作芭蕾舞鞋90年，喺全國有3間工廠，係碩果僅存依然堅持人手做舞鞋嘅品牌。倫敦工廠淨係得10位鞋匠，佢哋做出嚟嘅芭蕾舞鞋會供應俾英國皇家芭蕾舞團、英國國家芭蕾舞團，甚至紐約市芭蕾舞團。
I started when I was 26, working here. I started in their dispatch area. I took over my father-in-law's job, boxing the shoes up and shipping them out to different countries. No, he was never a maker. I was never a maker. A year later is when I become a maker. I got the opportunity to make them. The boss at the time asked me if I'd like the opportunity to do it. And I said yes. So since then I've been a maker. The sole's on. Next thing we do is we put our uppers on. Get our first piece of hessian. We stick it right up to the pin. What this does is it gives us the width of the block. Dancer stands on. Put a couple of bits more just to give it more strength. Once we've done the pacing up, built the block up, we put our pleats in. I put 6 pleats in each one. And what we do is twist it and pull, twist and pull. That's one side done. Now we're going to do the other side. Same again, twist and pull. Again, a single nail, just to hold it in place. And then what we do is we just make sure they're all nice and neat. Cut it down. Some dancers require a nice front point, slight tilt, which means if a slight tilt or front point, it will either throw forward. This one's going to stand up. It's a nice flat one, which is what the dancer requires.
想做一個鞋匠要具備咩條件呢？
Rough hands. I know, very physical, strong, very really.
品牌每年生產30萬對芭蕾舞鞋，需求咁大，係因為每一位芭蕾舞者每個禮拜都要更換5至20對舞鞋。每位工匠入職嘅時候會被分配一個代號，好似 Allan 咁，代表佢嘅圖案係三角形，其他人就係皇冠、星星、酒杯等等。每做完一對鞋，工匠就要喺鞋底作上自己嘅符號，咁樣芭蕾舞者就會知道着嘅鞋係邊位工匠嘅手工。用開嗰位就會跟足一世。
My daughter wears my shoes. All my daughters do ballet.
How old are they?
12, 15, 18 and 20.
英國嘅男士出名有紳士風度，推門呢啲就唔少得。但係港男似乎就唔係咁諗啦。
覺唔覺鬼佬幫人 hold 門好虛偽？唔覺得有咩特別要幫咯，自己又唔係冇手，靚仔咪有風度，樣衰咪俾人覺得心懷不軌咯。
我哋分別喺倫敦同埋香港嘅街頭試下托行李篋上落樓梯，同埋喺商場度推玻璃門，睇下當地嘅路人會唔會主動幫手。好，即刻去實試先。
一開始好似幾順利，但係原來即使嚟到英國，都一樣會遇到呢幾類人。不過風度呢啲嘢，又未必一定限於男性嘅。
Thank
至於香港，情況又唔係想像中咁冷漠。另一個測試項目推門，英國人明顯主動好多，幫後面嚟嘅人推住道門，對佢哋嚟講只係舉手之勞。我哋不如問下香港人點睇風度呢兩個字。
有時落車會幫女士開車門啊，嗰啲食飯又會主動遞下紙巾啊嗰啲咯。其實我都覺得係有禮貌嘅，如果男士咁樣做係會加分咯。
某啲有風度，某啲冇風度啦，要睇下咩年齡層咯。後生啲嘅就冇乜風度嘅，我覺得30零歲以上嗰啲就開始慢慢 gentleman 啲啦。
香港嘅男士夠唔夠風度，幫啲女朋友攞袋啊！
如果夜嘅話，會送你哋翻屋企咯。
如果搭地鐵嘅時候，有啲女仔唔方便，或者老人家，其實都會讓個位俾佢哋坐。
冇話好特定為咗邊個嘅喎，其實我覺得風度呢一樣嘢，咁女都可以對翻男度呢啲噶嘛，其實冇所謂㗎。
外國嘅男仔係比較 gentleman 嘅，我覺得，但係呢個香港嘅特色嚟嘅，呢個香港男仔特色嚟嘅，唔同文化啊嘛，靚女會好啲嘅。諗。
不過都有唔少香港嘅女仔比較獨立。
自己解決到你都唔會特別 expect 話有個人去幫你咁樣咯。簡單你公司換水咁樣，有個男仔喺度嘅，其實咁我喺隔離，如果我幫到我都會幫手嘅。女仔又唔一定要話要等男仔幫嘅。
追溯翻紳士嘅起源，英國係西方社會紳士風度嘅發源地，最初紳士都具備貴族血統，到17世紀憑努力躋身上流社會嘅中產階層，開始模仿皇室嘅紳士形象，從此出身就唔再係紳士嘅必要條件。培育紳士嘅禮儀規範，亦都逐漸喺社會潛移默化。不過自19世紀，英國女性提倡女權運動，性別平等嘅觀念又點樣影響英國男女對紳士嘅睇法呢？
Maybe through like sex equality. The gentlemen don't feel that it's polite now to open a door for a lady or pay for dinner or something like this. Been a little bit more not so cool to be a gentleman anymore than it used to be, which is a shame.
I think it's better, but it can also be rooted in very old ideas that you need to hold the door for a woman and stuff, which is nice. I'm not going to complain about it. But there's a lot of other ways we need to be equal.
That sort of thing, old-fashioned values. Yeah, of course. I think people appreciate that. I think if you forget that, then that's that's a mistake. Of course, very much so. Yeah.
Some ladies, if we're talking about ladies specifically, find it patronising. Gentlemen hold the door open, but I think it's just in a gentleman's etiquette and natural conduct to want to do that. But if a lady declines, as long as they're not offended, then I think it's the right thing to do.